just mean
That isn't my best foot
Chatbot
forward. I'll
AI,
give you
man.
that.
You got to
I'll
give
give you
very
that.
direct questions.
Oh my God!
I gotta stay in my
Fall in
lane.
love with you.
That's the big one.
We start with
You all right?
the Lakers making the playoffs.
Odds say they probably won't.
Are the odds there?
The odds, yeah, yes, plus 188, no, minus 280.
All right, just start talking.
We've lost
Wilds
Wiles for the show.
Wilds is gone.
That
So-
stupid AI bot thing.
Brew.
Yes.
I got the
How
question for you.
devastating would it be for LeBron
If he missed the
if the
playoffs?
Lakers missed the playoffs?
Look, Nick, one thing you and I agree on, we disagree on
Goodness.
a lot. One of the things you and I agree on, I believe, is looking at things and players in the proper context.
Sure.
Right? Both past players and present players,
Yep.
or teams and situations. And I think we have to look at LeBron and this season in context. Okay? Here's the context surrounding LeBron James that
Yep.
people don't seem to understand. He's 38.
I knew that.
Okay? 38 years old. He is in his 20th NBA season.
Yep.
He's battling nagging injuries himself. And his wingman, who's supposed to have taken the torch from him
Yep.
2 or 3 years ago, is injury prone and
Yeah.
not there. Can't even string together 3 straight weeks of basketball.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you understand that context, and then the historical
Can
context.
I add a little more context to it with the 38-year-old thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
The second best player this year that is 35 or older has been Chris Paul. So it's not like there's a bunch of, he's 38 and there's 36 and 37-year-olds doing it.
Right.
It's
No one's come close to
Nobody, in current or past. But now
Right.
go ahead. Like
no
the
one's come close.
Go ahead.
And here's the historical context. Michael Jordan, nobody killed Michael Jordan or holds it against him that his last 2 years in Washington, they didn't make the playoffs.
Correct, sub 500.
No one killed Kobe Bryant that in his last year in LA, they won 17 games and he shot 35%. from the floor.
35%.
All right. No one killed Steph Curry that a couple of years ago they finished as the A seed but lost in the play-in
Yep.
and didn't make the official playoffs.
right.
All right. So why in the world would anyone kill LeBron James if in his 20th season he doesn't make the playoffs? I don't get it.
Well, I agree with you on a logical standpoint, but I do think it would be devastating and mortifying for a few people involved with the Lakers, and that's most notably Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka. And that is that the Lakers this year, they started 2-10. We knew it was on the board that that awful start could happen, and that is what they have been trying to pull themselves out of. Since that 2-10 start, they're 25-22, which would put them as a win percentage record the 5 seed right now. And I know that there is some pushback on, well, how much of the Lakers being a mediocre team even after that start is on LeBron's availability. And this is where the facts have to matter. LeBron has played 45 games this year. Durant played 39 so far. Yet the Nets, I know he's no longer on the Nets, but he hasn't played for the Suns yet. The Nets are 10 games over 500. Steph has played 38 games this year, yet the Warriors are at 500. Kawhi Leonard has played 34 games this year. None of these guys have played nearly as many as LeBron, and yet the Clippers are 33-28. The Lakers' inability to field a competitive team in the games LeBron misses, and even more so when you show you the graphic, when he sits on the bench, is unfathomable. When LeBron James plays, for all their problems this year, the Lakers play as well as the Bucks. I'm just telling you what the plus minus is.
You think they're as good as the Bucks?
No, what I'm telling you is on the season, the Bucks plus minus is 6th best in basketball. That's what the Lakers are when LeBron plays. And then when he's off the court, it's worse than the Hornets, who have won 13 games this year, 17 games this year, something like that. They're bottom 5 in basketball. That is on the roster construction, and that is on the inability to field a competent supporting cast until the literal deadline to improve your team, and it might have put them too far behind the 8 ball.
All right, Brew, they've got 23 games left. What do you want to see the Lakers?
One, I want to see LeBron and AD playing.
Yeah,
All right,
but what do you want their record to be out of those 23 games?
Well, Nick's thrown it out there. They need to be 14-9. Whatever it takes to get in the play-in. That's what I want to see them do. I don't care what the
14-9.
record is. Just get in the play-in, and that means Anthony Davis needs to play most of these games. If not, how about all of them? Is that too much to ask of
Yes.
a 29-year-old
Yes.
in his prime?
He's not playing all of them. Worst record versus winning teams. The Rockets are pretty bad. They're not necessarily trying to win games. Hornets aren't either. The Pistons, they're not trying to win. Spurs really not trying to win. And then the Lakers.
Wow.
So I know we looked at their upcoming schedule, and it's moderately easy, Nick. But does this graphic
All of it concerns me. The fact that the Lakers this year, when LeBron James doesn't play, either a game or is just on the bench, have been outscored by 193 points is wildly concerning. The fact that they somehow, they're the Los Angeles Lakers with Anthony Davis under contract, and they find themselves in the exact position that the 2006 Cleveland Cavaliers did, which is when LeBron James goes to the bench, the team goes to die. Now, what those Cavs had going for him is back then LeBron could play 78 games in a season, and this year he's probably going to play, right? LeBron was obviously a better player when he was on the court, and he also played more. But there is no excuse. We see LeBron's played 45 games. That's the same as Embiid. That's 1 less than Dame. That's 3 less than Ja. LeBron's availability and performance is the least of their problems. The question is, why can't this team just tread water and when LeBron is not on the court? And that is, to me, a roster construction issue that we all saw coming going into the year, and then they literally waited until hours before the deadline to fix it, and now they got to go 14-9 to make sure they can make the playoffs.
All right, season comparison, Brew, between LeBron and AD. LeBron's played more games, has more points. AD's got the rebounds, obviously. Both shooting over 50%, and again, Nick's favorite plus-minus. I didn't realize you were so big of a plus-minus guy until that.
Oh, not in single games, I'm not, but over the totality of the season, I think it's useful.
Okay. More pivotal for the Lakers' playoff push here, Brew. LeBron or AD?
Without question, it's Anthony Davis. Now, I get why. Absolutely. You said it. LeBron's playing fine. Okay? The question is Anthony Davis, and their defense is the problem. They're like 6th or 7th in the league in points scored, 117 a game. Defensively, they're about 6th worst in the league. And Anthony Davis, check out this graphic. When he's there, they're actually a really good, not just a good, they're a great defensive league. They're tied for 3rd in the NBA defensively when Anthony Davis is on the court. When he's off the court, they're 25th. Again, their problem, even with the poor roster construction before the trade deadline, the problem was not scoring points. It was stopping other teams from scoring, and that is Anthony Davis. Nick, Anthony Davis, when he's right or when he plays, gives them something very few teams in the NBA have now. A dominant big man who can't be stopped. Nikola Jokic can't stop Anthony Davis. He abuses Jokic. Okay, so Anthony Davis makes them unique offensively and defensively, so he's the key.
See, who's the best player on the Lakers?
It should be AD, but it's LeBron right now.
Which is why, unfortunately, the onus is once again on LeBron. I totally agree with you. It should be Anthony Davis. And if Anthony Davis had taken the mantle, if you will, that he was supposed to, and taken the leap that he was supposed to after winning that title, then we would be in a very different situation. But I believe what the Lakers can rely on is that LeBron's going to be excellent, so he has to be excellent. We're in a weird spot where Anthony Davis giving you more than like B- performances is a bonus. And so I think it is more pivotal that the offense, I think, is going to be quite good the rest of the way, because I know Pelinka couldn't figure this out for quite some time, but we have a 20-year sample of LeBron plus shooting. You're going to have a good to great offense depending on how good the shooting is and how good LeBron's playing. You're totally right. The question is, can Anthony Davis hold down the defensive end? I don't think they need to be a top 5 defense. But I think the offense is going to come with or without Anthony's contributions. But they don't have great defensive players. LeBron at this stage in his career is not a great defensive player except for on like individual possessions with occasion. He can still channel it, but he can't do it the whole game. That has to be on AD.
Jared Vanderbilt's a good defensive player. Beasley's long.
Yeah, but I don't know how many. I don't think Vanderbilt's going to be playing crunch time for him. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you're going to need to lean on Anthony Davis in that regard, but I don't think Wilds right now, or do you think it's smart to rely on AD? Because I don't think it is.
Well, I still think his feelings are hurt. I feel like we're blowing past this.
He had 28 and 10 last game. He looked refreshed.
Okay, yeah, but then 10 days ago he was pouting on the bench. Like, you don't see that in playoff teams, or maybe playoff teams, play-in teams. But you don't certainly see it in championship teams.
What I will say is this: I don't think, Nick, LeBron needs to give him 30 a night. LeBron could come down to 25 a night. Let AD really should give him 26, 27 a game.
Of course he should.
D'Angelo Russell, let him get his 17.
He's going to want to shoot.
LeBron can back up a little. And to your point, a year ago, maybe give a little more effort on the defensive end. All right, so that might be what they need to do.
You got lambasted for saying the guy was more worried about winning a scoring title than winning games. That was your take, and then you ran from it like a small child who set a fire and then didn't want to get blamed